My classroom tip is actually something that I have used for a long time and seems a little ridiculous, and most people don't understand why I have one when they first walk in, but I am a staunch believer in keeping a egg timer clipped onto my music stand, the music stand I conduct from. And I have used it at the middle school level, I've used it at the high school level, I've even used it at the college level when I was a TA. And what happens is I will give um, my students 30 seconds to have targeted practice. And that allows me to do a plethora of things in those 30 seconds. So the egg timer allows me to keep track of 30 seconds because it's never how long I think it is. And I like to use the egg timer versus using my phone or my Apple Watch because I have found that as soon as I'm on a device, the students immediately want to get on a device. And while I'll put my phone down once I'm done setting my timer, they may not. And then it just creates an issue that didn't have to be created. So the egg timer kind of prevents that. It's a lot quicker. I usually have it set for 30 seconds. It could be a minute, it could be 2 minutes, depending on how long the passage is that we're going to practice. And just using the egg timer really helps prevent any like technology issues. The 30 seconds of practice, or minute or 2 minutes, does a few different things depending on the time of the year. So in the beginning of the year, it really lets me assess how well the students know how to practice. I think I didn't learn how to practice well until I was in my bachelor's degree, getting a degree in my instrument. And it changed everything once I finally figured out that I didn't know how to practice, and then I figured out how to practice, or I was taught how to practice. So I will walk through what practicing actually looks like with my students, and then we'll practice practicing. And then that way they know you have 30 seconds. What are my priorities? Where am I starting at? And we'll set those up together. It usually looks something like, do I know the rhythm? Do I know everything I'm pushing down for these notes in this section? And then, okay, what's happening elsewhere? Do I know who I should be listening for? Do I know my articulations and my dynamics? Do I understand the emotion and the style that we're portraying here and the story that I'm trying to tell in this specific part, not the overarching one, which is also important, but what is my part trying to tell? And there's always something that they can practice on that list. And letting them practice practicing when they have someone there that can be like, okay, how did that go? What didn't work? What did work? What can we fix? Really lets them feel confident in their practicing. So then they don't feel like I'm going home and I'm practicing for an hour every day and I'm not getting better, which is an incredibly frustrating experience. And they can take that into, I only practice for 30 minutes a day, or I only practice for 20 minutes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I am experiencing growth because of that targeted practice, and I know how to practice well. And of course, the more they practice, the better they get, but some of our students just don't have that time for whatever reason. Their background doesn't allow them to practice at home because of time, because of the size of the instrument, or young sibling at home. I mean, there's so many reasons that taking an instrument home and making a bunch of noise might not be an option for them. So the in-class practice time also kind of helps negate the inequity there of, I can't practice at home because I can't get my instrument home, or because my little brother is sleeping, or my dad works nights, or we live in an apartment, which I am no stranger to, and no stranger to trying to practice in an apartment. Not a lot of people are a fan of the clarinet at 6 p.m. So just giving them that time as well. And then as we move further on in the year, I can let them know, okay, we're going to do these 4 measures, and we're gonna have 30 seconds of practice. We're all gonna play it together, and then we're gonna like popcorn around and have people play it. And then we'll go back to playing it all together, and then one person plays. So they're also getting a lot of practice that way. But because they have that 30 seconds of individualized time of, I know exactly what I need to practice real quick, it allows them to feel more confident to play in front of everybody. And then they get the benefits of playing in front of everybody, and performance, and being able to assess one-on-one and give those quick feedback things. And obviously there's some structure stuff with how we set up the class so that we do feel comfortable playing in front of everybody, but that little bit of practice can really go a long way. And it's just 30 seconds, and it seems to really help and do a lot of good in 30 seconds, more than me talking at them.